Okay, so we have a case study overview. So there is a BA who is unable to deliver products on time. Not exactly BA. This looks like who. So what do you think this guy is?
It looks like probably a sponsor.
Project sponsor? Yes, it could be. Unable to deliver products on time, and customers are switching to competitor products. So what are the business analysis activities? We identified business analysis deliverables, documentation of existing supply chain management process. So we need to find out as this process, we need to do root cause analysis. Why we are not able to deliver products on time. And then we have to find out solution options once we have established the causes. And then once the solution has been found, we might recommend the tools and technologies that can help achieve this solution and recommend optimal solution. So there could be some other solution that you would want to recommend which is optimal. So out of solutions, so it is saying solution options, right? So there is not one solution, there are multiple solutions. And out of that, you need to find out optimal solution. So again, there could be some criteria that can go into providing you this solution. I mean, in choosing optimal solution,
Right.
right? So there is some detailed level case study here. So it says you have identified and analyzed the stakeholders involved in the process. You have gone through existing documents, meeting with subject matter experts and people involved in this process, and come up with the activities and tasks. You have also estimated the tasks and who are involved in performing the task. You have established the process of decision making, change control, prioritization, and approval. You have determined how you are going to store and retrieve business analysis information. You have had meetings with the key stakeholders to review and get approval on your business analysis approach. So all these things that they are talking about here is we have already discussed in previous topics. So stakeholder identification and meeting with people involved in this process, come up with activities and tasks. So this is BA plan approach. What are you going to do? And who are involved in performing the task. So you have estimated the task, and so you have identified the stakeholders against the task also, right? So you have also established the process of decision making, chain control, prioritization. This is a part of your BA plan approach. So this will go into what we have discussed about. We have been discussing so far, right? So usually this activity happens in class, but just because the setup is different, I just wanted to quickly cover it. You have had meetings with key stakeholders to review. So if you remember, one of the uh, important criteria for BA approach was to get the approval from stakeholders. So it is PM, sponsor, and domain experts because they are the ones who are involved here. Okay, let's do some exercise. So are you ready for it?
Yes.
Mhm.
So,
So what do you think is the first one?
okay, which documents created to define decision making control part? The governance.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. You
Uh-huh.
think, or maybe, I mean, you read through all, you think, and you just note down the answer maybe, and then we will verify all of them. What did you get? Is
Oh,
that fun?
okay.
Yep. Yep. So I'm just giving you a small exam experience. That's it.
Sure. Okay, so for number 2, I would say predictive.
Okay. Why do you think predictive?
Because well, with adaptive, that's more agile.
But why do you think business analysis approach need to be, I mean, you need to think everything about the approach up front. Why can't it be adaptive? Because you had one element that says lessons learned, right?
Right.
So if you are using lessons learned technique, you are somewhere applying adaptive technique, right?
Um,
What do you think?
yeah, I mean, let's see, define this as
I
well.
mean, I'm just trying to
It
bring
really
up
could be
your,
both. I don't know. I think it really,
yes, I mean,
depending on how the project is. Adaptive could be when you have the well, besides just an agile, but um, smaller projects where you don't quite know what the end results are. You know, like a newer software, new development, um, where you just need to be a little more flexible in, you know, how you're getting the requirements and processing it, um,
mm,
versus the predictive where it may be, you know, a large company where it's very structured and things they follow a certain guideline that has to be, you know, like
mm.
more like a governance where it's that's, you know, you have to be a little more inflexible.
Yes, so I'm not saying it is completely wrong to be predictive, but we will see what BABOK says, right? So let's move on to third one.
Third
Uh,
one, I have racy matrix.
so, okay, why do you think so? Because we are talking about level of responsibility, right? We are not talking about, so responsible, accountable, consulted, informed, these are not levels. They are actually, uh,
Refinements.
yeah, sort of agreement, yeah. So, yeah, that's what. But anyways, I mean, we will see what it is.
Okay,
Which technique is used to identify roles and responsibilities within the organization?
I said the organizational modeling technique.
Uh, that's pretty straightforward, yeah, but great. Which document indicates how stakeholder is involved with the solution?
Um, so this one I wasn't too sure, but I want to say it's probably the matrix. 'Cause the onion, I think, is more of a broader role of how they interact more than I think.
But if you see the layers that were there,
Hmm.
each layer had, how close they are to solution. So the project team was closest, and then next one was the stakeholder team. I mean, the departments in the business units team, domain SMEs team, and then it was the sponsor, next layer, right, in onion diagram. And
Okay.
next to sponsor was your customer. So don't you think it is providing you the involvement? I mean, this question is not that straightforward, I can understand.
Well, what I looked at was the wording. It says which document, and I think the stakeholder on is more of a diagram that
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
know, it's
say
so
that.
much of a formal thing that you would. I
Mhm.
don't know that it's something that you
Okay.
would put in um with your artifacts more than. I mean, I would a matrix. I think is more of something formal that you would save. No.
I got your point. Basically, it could be an Excel document wherein Excel sheet you are maintaining that matrix, wherein
Yeah.
you are showing what level uh, stakeholder is involved with, right?
Right. For me,
Okay.
it's more of a picture than and what's for me, like I said, the wording says which document.
Yeah. I mean, we can say that. Yeah. We will see what it is.
Okay.
Which task is performed to identify and analyze the stakeholders?
I said personas.
Mhm. Among stakeholders who are not likely to get involved in this initiative.
I would say regulators.
Okay, so let's see. BA governance, adaptive, RACI, you were right. Organizational modeling, you were right. They say stakeholder onion diagram and plan stakeholder engagement. Which task is performed to identify?
Oh, okay.
So plan stakeholder engagement. That's what
I said
they
it.
say
Okay.
as per BABOK.
Okay.
Among stakeholders who are not likely to get involved are regulators, you said, right? Which was
Right.
correct. Cool. So I think you scored 80% marks this.
Okay.
Yes, kidding. I mean, just kidding. The questions will not be like this because they will be scenario based. So the way you got confused, right? I think one thing that you are doing good is you are referring to these words, but I think this will come by practice. So once you read the BABOK, you would be able to differentiate between these items. And once
Yeah.
you start appearing for the questions, online questions, you would like it. I mean, you would appreciate the small differences between options.
Right.
That's what
Now
you can
this
do.
the course doesn't come with a like a workshop book, right?
Which this course we are
Yeah.
doing, right?
Yeah.
Workshop book. Uh,
Because in my other,
so,
yeah,
mhm.
my other, well, the PMBOK. So they gave me not the PMBOK, but there was another book that, as we're going through the course, that you could kind of go back to it and refer and highlight, and then it had the definitions, the glossary in the back, where it was just, something to have in your hand. The PMBOK, it's again, it's
Yeah, I understand. No,
big.
you will get this document. This will give you a lot of information that you need to prepare for yourself.
Okay.
But as I said initially, you need to yourself. I mean, you need to create sheets so that it is captured in your mind. Because
Right.
unless and until you don't process this information, by looking at it, it may never be registered. So there are only two ways of processing information. One, you are reading it and thinking it from different angles and answering questions. And another way is actually you are organizing the information in different ways. So Excel sheet provides you a great way of organizing the information in a way that you want it, and it is correct.
Right.
So what we are going to do is so we have quiz also. So I think we know this.
Right.
Which one do you think it should be?
Responsible. Wait. No. C. Responsible
That's correct.
consultant informed. Right.
Yeah. So that's the answer. Which one is not a characteristic of an indicator?
Um, I would say transparency.
Correct. You're correct. Which one of the following is not an input to plan business analysis information management approach?
And
Information management.
right.
So
I would say
what
maybe
do you say?
uh,
Information. So of course we have governance there, right?
right.
Because that's how we are. BA approach is there, stakeholder. What do you think about B?
I think it's the stakeholder engagement approach.
Stakeholder engagement approach. Mhm. Okay. It is traceability actually.
Oh, I would thought the traceability one was definitely part of what you.
For information management approach, This traceability is actually a part of requirement management cycle. You're actually managing the requirement. In order to plan for BA information management, we are planning actually. So, I mean, there is a very thin line. If you see between these answers, of course, traceability is important, right?
Right.
But the closest, as per our discussion, these three are the closest that are actually shown in BABOK,
Okay.
right? Cool. So, what are the key takeaways?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, quiz.
so we discussed BA approach or plan documents, wherein BA approach, stakeholder engagement approach, BA governance, information management approach was discussed. BA approach or plan is developed based on need, methodology, complexity, size, and risk.
Mm,
Stakeholder engagement, governance, and information management plan can be separate or part of the business analysis plan, depending on the size of the initiative or organizational standard. So, of course, I mean, we understand if you're creating a business analysis plan, you're not going to create separate document for each of these.
right.
You can mention them in separate sections in that
One
analysis plan
document.
document itself. Now we saw output of business analysis, planning and monitoring knowledge area that governs other tasks in all knowledge area. So we saw the output of the planning and monitoring knowledge area that governs other tasks in all knowledge areas. We have more takeaways. BA plan documents are reviewed and approved by key stakeholders.
Right.
Performance baseline, metrics, and KPIs and the process of monitoring and evaluation are defined to improve performance of business analysis work. Yep. Business analysis performance assessment is used as a guideline in all planning tasks. BA techniques such as lessons learned, organizational modeling, stakeholder list, map, persona, basic metrics, and KPIs are used when performing BA tasks. So these are the techniques.
Right. Okay.
Well, that concludes BA planning and monitoring. We completed one knowledge area,
Mhm.
and the next lesson is elicitation and collaboration. Thank you.